This is your daily market recap for Monday, May 23rd, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max, EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for May 23rd, 2022. It is Monday. Let's get into it. Again, if you are newer to the channel, you're just listening as the first time, I always welcome people to come by the Discord room. A link is in the description below on YouTube. If you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, ideas about some of the trades talked about, please stop on by. Feel free to hit me up on social media. Love to interact with folks who are trying to get a better understanding of what's going on. Anyway, let's talk about it. What's the day's action? It's the Monday after OPEX. You had a follow through. Now, again, a lot of people talking about double bottom on the SPY, a lot of people getting bullish, excited without a VIX blowout. I mean, this is the biggest down move without a VIX blowout. So it'll either be the first time the market ever drops 20% without a decent VIX spike, or it's going higher, or the VIX spike is coming in time. If I had to see it, I would tell you kind of how I think about it. It doesn't really make sense to assume that history doesn't repeat itself, in the sense that the markets are going to do what they're going to do, and you don't really get a panic sell until the bottom. Didn't feel very panicky with the VIX in the 30s. All right, here you go. Bitcoin, a lot of nothing today. It's holding this channel or range low. Head and shoulders top. Beware if it could be a choppy mess for a while, or it could be chopping to get slaughtered. If it gets slaughtered, I think we all know it's going much lower. TLT, we talked about the 20-day and channel lows being resistance. We got up there, made lower lows and lower highs. Again, I don't think this is bottom just yet. Keep in mind, let's take a look at it in the sense of monthly. We held the 200 month, went below it, but we also did that on the 50 month, and then we came back. It is a double bottom on the 2018 lows. I had to guess, and I've told people this many times, I think you're going to get a retest. The dollar's action today, pretty bearish. Gap down on the UUP. A lot of people talking about the ruble going higher and yada, yada, yada. Is this a failed breakout of channel high, or is it a knee bend? What I mean by knee bend is like you get like this chop action and then go higher, or is it actually a look above and fail? At this point, we don't know. Now, again, if you're a dollar bull, you got to raise your stops, and you could always dump back in. If you're a dollar bear, just be aware. Typically really hard to see V bottom, V tops. Please be careful. The VIX. Said this, I don't know, about a dozen times. Come on, VIX. Open. We are in this consolidation phase below the mid-30s. And every time we get down, now we're, like I'd say, in the mid-20s. Are we there yet? I don't know. Like bottoming action is compressing though. You see you have a 2-day low at like the 28s. I don't trust this market. Just like I'm not surprised the SPY went up today. And we talked about this because everyone's talking about, oh, look at this double bottom outside reversal. Yada, yada, yada. Where is it going? Oh, people are saying the 20-day, which that seems pretty logical. Oh, maybe it's getting back to 400. Again, this is part of the action. You know, just don't be surprised. You said at the end of the month. OPEX chop, you see how this is working, and then a continuation. So you chop during OPEX, you got a balanced market during the first and last 3 days of the month, and you proceed to go lower. Let's look and see if we see it. Yeah, OPEX here, bottom, pop, end of the month, top. You see how this works? Tops near the end of the month, beginning of the month, and OPEX, CHOPEX. Not so much CHOPEX here. I guess maybe, this month didn't do it. Again, not every month. If I had to guess, this is chop before the drop. If it's not, pick your names wisely. Now, again, if you want to short certain things, let them come to you. If you want to short oil like we are, it seems very obvious that the market can't sustain it going up with oil at the highs. Like it's one of those things where money will rotate. That's my belief. Could be wrong. QQQ. This thing is a dog. Maybe it gets to 300. I mean, the tech stocks look so crappy. We say this every recap. This is the first time the market's below the 20 month in the whole bull trend over. I mean, if it can't get it back above it, maybe it tries to reclaim it later. I don't know anything for sure, meaning I don't have like a guarantee, but what do you think? I don't know. Your guess is good as mine at this point. I think it's a bear market. You gotta like go with the evidence, not how you feel. Keep in mind, when this thing broke back in the day, the 20-month, I mean, it confirmed it. Again, here's 2008, bounced over the 20-month, then chopped and then failed. Remember, QQQ was brand new, and was it 99? Late 98? No, 99. I tell people long term, like, you do not want to own bullish ETFs, bullish sectors. I mean, not bullish, stock sectors that are tech heavy. You're not going to like your returns. And so here we go. Chopping. Could it pop to the 20-day? Could it get up to 3 or 4? Yeah, no doubt. It definitely could. I just would be a seller until you get an actual capitulation. And people are like, oh, well, what if the capitulation doesn't come? Well, then you're betting on the outside chances of something, because usually a market will bottom near term, or even in bear market with capitulation. Somebody blows out. Someone's, that's the thing. Like, there's always somebody who causes the blowout. So you do what you got to do. If you want to stay bullish, have a trail stop. If you want to get short, please don't short in between spots. Like, know your areas. We'll talk about some areas and some places to short. IWM. Again, this thing topped first, bottomed in March 1st, top first. Again, is this bottoming? Yeah, you had a lower high. Could it get back to the 20-day? Yeah, I just warned people. Like, it's very clear where it bounced. The 2020 and 2018 highs. I mean, here's the 2018 high. Here's the 2020 high. I mean, literally to a penny. Now what? Again, I mean, let's go back to the monthly. This had a nice smooth up channel. We broke out of it. We failed. If this is a bear market, you do the math. It seems like you could go way lower. Trying to see if you notice from 2000s, thing went from 34 up to 686, back to 34. So do the math. I mean, could it get? I mean, it's getting. I mean, a sub 100 seems natural. I mean, we will test the COVID lows. We will. It's just a matter of when. The bear market. That's what happens. Gold took the short off today. I still think it's a good short. I just see better shorts elsewhere. Talked about the 20-day. So once it held the 200-day, gapped up today. I closed out some shorts. I know it held the 20-day, but I saw better things in my mind. ExxonMobil, we'll get in there later. That was a pretty solid short up in the 94 plus range, especially mid 94s. I don't chase gold here. I'm just telling you guys, you never see a gold bottom where everybody just like, yeah, that was easy. Let's get into it. Nice work. Everybody high-fiving. This was great. Silver, same kind of thing. Hey, look, we broke the channel lows. Everybody's good. And you had to buy. And it's like, man, the best moves are these look below and fails of major ranges. I wouldn't really consider this much of a look below and fail. Like, remember, this went from, had a 13 handle, got all the way down to 10s. Going from 19 down to 19, exactly 19's, like 50 cents below. I don't think it's going to be that simple. I could be wrong, absolutely wrong. I mean, but I just wouldn't chase this action because, again, I've seen how the markets treat silver. You go look back in 2008, you had that nice pop up to the resistance zone, and then look, it went from 20 down to 8. I mean, that was brutal. 20 down to 8. So you do the math, right? 50 something percent off the highs. What's that of 28? 14. It's down here. Is it going to get there? Ooh, it really depends. I mean, keep in mind, liquidation. I mean, nothing's safe. I've warned y'all. Nothing is safe. GDX, nice bounce back to the channel. Held exactly where it should, around 29.30. Not really that excited. Look at this volume. It just feels like oversold bounce. I know wave pattern folks are going to be screaming, channel bottom, yada yada, gotta go higher, wave 4, wave 3, sequencing, time to go. I don't know, man. Y'all's waves are about as predictable as the ocean tides, in the sense that picking a wave out of the ocean and surfing it, like, they all come in as they come in. Yes, no one's gonna argue there are waves, but how you guys try to predict them is silly. Like, it just, you need to use volume at price. You need to use sentiment and use the action. Any one theory in a vacuum doesn't really work. GDXJ, same kind of thing. Nice little trust of this lower low, bounce up to the 20-day. I don't think it's a buy. AG, let's run through all the miners real quick. Dead money until the market settles. Yeah, it's just, again, I mean, you can see 2008 was that $6, got all out. I mean, it dropped 80%. What's 80% from this top? 24. Oof, $6. I don't know. Again, you just got to use the past as a history. AEM, I like this name. Think it has to pull back. It's all these major moving averages. Doink. They're doing well. Strong companies again. Fundamentals, whatever. Watch the 47s. Pray for 31s. That would be sick. Keep in mind, like during COVID, went from 64 down to 30. It made no sense. None. Whatsoever. But then it went from what, 30 up to 90. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the wipeout, because after the wipeout, you can gladly buy. We will scream from the mountaintops, buy gold, buy miners. We're not there yet. This company's holding up. I like them. I think they get bought out. I sold my shares. I'll wait for the 5s again. PAAS, same thing. Nice that it held the channel or the reference lows there. 200 month. I still think it's going lower. Keep in mind what happened during COVID. Went from 26 down to 11. So you do the math, probably needs to get down a little lower, but it's taking a beating already. Let's get into material names. Oh, everyone's excited. Look at the volume down here. No one's excited. This was like more of an excitement. Even that had a little more down here. It's just OPEX chopping. I mean, again, we warned you guys at the 200 month, said it was probably going to take a bounce. Now it's holding the 20 month, which that's great. Needs to hold there. Do I trust it? No, I don't. Oh, but inflation. If you are buying stocks now because of inflation, you are the sucker. You are who the market wants to buy up here, because again, demand destruction is natural from inflation. Like, think about the average person changing their behaviors dramatically. Like, people have changed how they drive, what they use, you know, like timing wise, like the drive, like they literally have figured out ways to spend the minimal possible. And as long as the prices stay high, demand destruction is natural. VALE popped up here. I guess 100 month. We talked about this possibly being like that lower high to pop. It loves to make like the opposite before it goes. The lower low, made a higher high, made a lower low. Okay. Now is the market ready to go higher? That's where you got to ask yourself. Like, I don't believe so. CCJ, now a lot of, man, these uranium folks are super excited. Congratulations. Again, I'm not shorting it, but you watch the gap fill, you're up at the 20-day. This is not what you want to see for an up move. You see how like the volume was building as you went higher? It's not doing that for CCJ. So people are like, but you don't see the uranium prices and nuclear power and whatever. Look at the monthly. We talked about it failing up here at 50% fib. It seems very logical that this thing is not going to be bottomed. So never be bottomed. That was, I don't even know what you call that. This was crazy. Again, you had a lower high. This was a V top. I don't know what's going on in 2011 other than a commodity peak. They got caught in it. Yeah, it just is what it is. I don't trust this action. Again, the volume at price zone say somewhere. Let's draw here. I'll draw this for y'all. This is where I'd be looking. And I think it seems more logical that somewhere around 18 would be the probably best price. And don't be surprised if it does like this wick down to come back up. That seems logical too. Arrow, I mean, this company in the 10s, I like it. Of course, it bounced. Cool. It's got a little volume. Hit the 20-day, double dojis. I guess that didn't hit it, but double dojis off the bottom. Volume's dying. That's not really looking that bullish, y'all. But whatever. Mosaic. CF, not surprised. They popped. Channel low under the 20-day. CF. Held the channel. Bounced to the 50-day. I mean, again, all these names look ripe to get beaten. AMD. Held the 20-day. We talked about this today. This has like wide and loose action down here after getting beat up. Could it be ready to bounce? That might be possible. Now, again, have your short, your stops. I mean, I don't know. Let me adjust this trend line because it's clearly more like that. I know that. And then let's move this up. Oh. And sorry, just trying to like get it to like try to find the exactness of what it couldn't close above. I mean, yeah, 108, maybe 105. This thing is such a turd. People don't realize when these things top, all chips become a commodity. They literally become a commodity, and not in a good way, because they're oversupplied. I mean, they saw this in 2000, saw it again in 2007. I mean, once AMD produces a superior chip, everybody has a superior chip, and not just AMD. Like, they're all good, like have great chips. Now it becomes a margin battle, then it becomes a price battle, and then it comes like who can just get rid of as many chips as possible because they oversupply. That's usually how it plays out. How this ultimately ends, it all ends badly. I'm just telling you guys, and people are like, oh, look at the valuation. Okay, again, you should be selling on pops. Apple, same kind of thing. I mean, again, we talked about it was due to bounce. Not surprised. Where to? Everybody's calling 150. The Elliott Wave folks are just going nuts. Like, they're absolutely bonkers. Like, you got to go to 150. And it's like, well, you didn't need an Elliott Wave theory to do it. It's support equals resistance. It's the top of the VAP zone right here. Like, now again, what happens if it doesn't? They'll be sitting there waiting like it couldn't, like it had to happen. And that's the thing about Elliott Wave theory. It's just, it's very, I think it's just trash. You just know the market bounces and chops around. Trying to apply like strict, like functional structure to an emotional, irrational market is like the definition of insanity, because that doesn't make sense. You know, it's like trying to say your kids are going to act a certain way because of this, this, and that. No, every time they're different. They go nuts. They change their minds. They want to do this. Now they hate it. Now they love it. Now they hate it. Now they hate it. Now they love it. It gets, good luck. Like I said, you play the markets like thinking people are rational. You get irrational. You're not going to do well. Facebook is just holding tight here at the 20-day. Feels like it's about to bust. Roadblocks. I talked about this one holding up. 20-day. I mean, it's just, man, it's like, you can't even see that candle. Holy crap. I mean, it traded in a, what was it? $3 range. It's like the smallest amount it's traded ever. No, I'm just kidding. Like, that's just pretty tight. Something's going on there. I don't know. Tesla. This one had a pretty wide range today. It made lower lows, not lower lows, but it made like had long wick lows. Bounced back. Definitely lagging the market. You know, market's up near the 8-day. This thing is still down near the lower half of its blowout candle. What I mean by that is go look at the QQQ. See how the QQQ is near the higher of its high end of its range of its that bottoming candle. Tesla's not like that. Here, I'll pull you back to it so you can see again. That doesn't really look that bullish to me, but it is what it is. Again, I've warned people, once you broke this channel up, once you broke below the 20-month, sayonara, leave it alone. Doesn't mean every day it's going to go down, but it's not a buy anymore. I'm just sorry. I mean, people get so mad about stocks. You know, it's like, hey, you bought GameStop at 400. Oh, it's going to hold up. It's going to stay there. You're missing out. AMC, I bought it at 30 and 40. It's getting back there. And it's like, there's no guarantees. EXPI 20-day, same thing every day. UTHR, where are you, my friend? When are you going to get bought out? I don't know. But look at the volume today. Told you this was coming. So I don't know what was going on with them today, but clearly somebody was compressing this thing and bam! Like Chef Emerald, bam! Did we make new all-time highs? Interesting. So here you go. You pop up and you back off. I'm interested to see what happens here. Now again, this could either be the beginning of the buyout, or this was like a massive, like huge bull trap. And I'm talking like this is the end of that trend. Like that was like the last hurrah. I'm trying to find like a last hurrah action on this thing before. Oh, here you go. You had like this new high and then boom. And it went from what? 58 down to 22. Ooh. That's the case. This thing could be heading south for the summer, I guess. I don't know if that's where, unless you were into skiing. Oh, I guess this is a mountain. South for the summer. I don't know. Like if you're in the northern hemisphere, you go south for the winter down there. That's my guess. Let's end it on oil, because there's so many people who are like, today sucks, this is shitty, yada 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 yada. We talked about during the weekend market recap. You kind of get like this like action where you get this action looked very similar. Where was another one? You kind of get like this indecision. Now again, is it repeating? Am I stretching for it? I don't know. Again, I don't know anything for certain, but I'm trying to look for reoccurring patterns. And you had like these lower highs before you went lower after you peaked. So 20-day held, which, you know, that's cool for oil. I just still think, I mean, think about the sentiment and who's buying oil. I mean, you literally listen to the headlines all day, all night. Oil this, oil that, oil this, oil that. People are scared. So where are they parking their money? BlackRock's creating what I could consider a bag holder ETF. Like, hey, you guys with millions of dollars should buy our leveraged oil and exploration names. Hey, pension funds, you need to rebalance for your shitty quarter of first quarter. Maybe you guys should buy oil and gas. Like, you see how the market's really good at trapping everybody? So you see lower highs, we see this chop action. Will it resolve higher with one more blow off? Anything is possible. Again, this chart, I mean, I love decaying ETFs to short because they are awesome. But look at the weekly action. Blow off. Doji last week. Again, we're right under. I mean, we're 82s. I keep saying watch the 82 levels, because the 82 levels fail. Adios, amigos. ExxonMobil took a short on this today. Thanks, Drew. In the Discord room was talking about it. And I was like, ooh, Doji? Higher high. Let's go check the month. Oh, you're at the upper range of previous price action. Think about this. Muscle memory, elephant memory, whatever you want to call it. This range. Now, again, if we had slowly built up like this, maybe it takes it out. Straight line move. Oh, my God. 52 to 94. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I saw an Exxon move like that. Like this. You saw it in the commodities bull market. It went from 33 to 95. Now people are saying, well, Dan, oil prices are here to stay. Oil's this. You are high as a kite to not think that demand destruction is happening at these prices. I mean, you had $1.80 oil prices, gasoline, to now $4.20 nationally, up to $7 around the country. Demand destruction is abundant. You're even seeing like strip clubs losing customers. No one's showing up. People aren't going to sporting events. People aren't driving anywhere. Now, again, doesn't mean necessarily oil is going to crash tomorrow. But I'm telling you, that demand destruction is a really similar story to 2008, where if you go look at 2008, ExxonMobil peaked and went from, 80 to 95 down to 78, came to a lower high, boom. Well, when did it fail? It failed in June. Well, let's go look back at USO in June of 28, because this is one of the best shorts I ever took, because it seemed obvious to me. Like, yeah, the market was in a recession, or was building into a recession because of higher oil prices. The Saudis were like, oh, we're going to stop. We're going to, we got to save our oil production for peak oil. These prices, we think, they came on, and the sheiks were like, every day, we're like, oil should be at $200 a barrel, $250, $300. You're like, what the hell are y'all smoking? And look what happened. You had June, July, bam. Bam. I don't know why I keep saying June with July. It was the J month. Look what happened. Boom. I mean, it didn't matter. I mean, keep in mind, like the recession started technically like 2007. Then it ran up on the stupid supply constraints issues. I mean, you literally can't draw it any similar, right? Look at the weekly now, because again, the USO is a beast. It's such a decaying product. You had unlimited price buying down at the lows, right? Like any idiot and their mom could have bought oil at negative prices. I mean, I probably should have bought a tanker and stored it 2 months. I don't know how much money would have made. Probably lost money with the carrying cost, but that's a joke. But you know what I mean? Like, look at the action now. Like, you've peaked on the Ukraine-Russian shit. What happens if that slows down? Russia realizes, like, hey, we got to sell some oil to make some profits because we need money to feed our people. again, you don't know the reasoning till after, but the same kind of like economic global crap today, like it was back in the days. I mean, it's the same action. XOP, not very excited about breaking this little wedge, but the problem is the volume sucks. Now, again, where does the story start? Starts on the monthly. Doji, okay, possibly lower high. Again, this is what's so hard. Chopping. Keep in mind, did a reverse split, 31 up to $1.46, I think it was the high, 45, whatever. That's a huge move in these production names. And keep in mind, like, they have to actually produce this oil. There's tons of companies out there that are sitting on oil, but how are they gonna like get it out of the ground so cheaply? Like, where's their margins gonna compress? Everywhere. I mean, it's not the same as it used to be, you know. So and not the same as it used to be, just in the sense that like oil production was pretty cheap back in the day because you had plenty of construction. I mean, again, like supply constraints affect everybody. It's like Apple. Like Apple probably has great demand, but they can't sell any product because there's nothing available. Like, how are these oil names ultimately going to sell oil if the market crashes, debt market freezes up, liquidity dries up? It's the same thing as gold miners getting absolutely smoked as gold is rising. Because why? Like, the miners can't actually, like, there's a liquidity crunch. So anyway, XOP, if you have to short it, have a tight stop. You're buying drip, just be careful. If you're using drip as the reference, please don't. It's a decaying product. It literally just follows. Like, don't even look at it. Notice how I never talk about drip. It just doesn't matter. It's going to follow the XOP. That's what its job is. So if you want to, like, it's like paying attention to the dog or the dog walker. Who's leading who? Well, if you know who's leading, then that's all you need to watch, whether it's the dog or the walker, depending on the type of person walking the dog. Well, obviously, XOP is driving the action. I hope this kind of stuff helps. Again, if you're newer to the channel, newer to trading, you still believe in certainty, you chase action, you can't hold because you over leverage options, or you're just in a position to lose because the time is not in your favor. I mean, again, I recommend the Jesse Livermore books, and one of the things that I was listening to it today, and he talked about it. You can see when the market's feeding retail at the highs, selling to them, buying at the lows. And it just takes time. It just ultimately takes time. And the hardest thing is time. And if you over leverage, you got the wrong options, you're trying to get rich quick without the trade starting, it is so damn hard. That's why timing. That's why most people can't swing trade. Look at this choppy action. I mean, imagine if you're buying the XOP back in December of last year in the 80s. Look how long it took before it really started taking off. Anything is possible. However, one thing you should always notice about the markets, they take the stairs up and the elevator down. That's why shorting when right can be lucrative, because it does drop quick. If you're buying, expect it to take time. All right, I'm here for you. I know this is hard. Come vent, come say what you need to say, but just try to take your emotions out, because if you're looking at the charts and you're blaming me, yourself, the market, I mean, again, something that can be anything that gets you mad. Think about it, doesn't make any sense. Try to figure out why and how to react, what to do, and just be safe. Because again, ultimately, try to minimize your cuts. I told people today, I was down at one point, and it was 10% today. I finished down 8 and change. I've done well. I pull my money out of my accounts when I start making money, like I did earlier in the year. Did really well. That's what you want to get to that point. So I hope people understand that trading ultimately is a probability game. If you're trying to go all in all the time, the probabilities that you're going to be right away are wrong. Here you go. Probabilities right away, wrong. Probabilities of right or wrong. Probabilities of being right are wrong. Choppy, then goes. Choppy, then goes. You see how this works? And especially with XOP, double bottom. I mean, I literally remember that time to buy. I went, whoop. Gotta wait for the retest. Now, again, if you see the straight line move up, it probably fails. That's just how it works. I just don't know what to say to folks, because unless you study the past, it looks foreign to you. You're trying to like live in the moment, which is great, but you also don't know what the moment entails. Meaning, how does this move play out? Like, how long does this take? What do you do? All right, I'm here for you. I apologize again if you feel like you're hurt and you don't know what to do. And I said this a billion times in swing trading. The hardest part is timing. If you think you can nail it every time, I've said this 1,000 times. The time you nail it perfectly you are a genius. The times that you're early, you get frustrated. But as long as you have stops, you have discipline, you have the right trades, you're not buying options that are just getting murdered by time decay because they're out of the money, usually can sustain and then make the big money. Or again, like a lot of people say, oh, I'll wait for the confirmation. Well, just be in mind, that looked like confirmation. That looked like confirmation. You don't know until it starts, because sometimes chasing the action means one more bounce. And you see that all the time. All right. I'll talk to you guys and gals in the Discord room. Please hit me up if you have any questions. Cheers. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.